What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and we're going to do something a little different today. I want to have just a genuine discussion about Dragon Ball Daima, because we are staring down an episode that is going to be nigh unprecedented in Daima, and a lot of people are suspecting that this one could potentially be like basically that episode where Goku went Ultra Instinct in Dragon Ball Super. That for Daima. A lot of people think this could just genuinely break the internet because there is the potential for something really crazy. Now, there's two possible situations here. I'm going to talk about situation number 2. Situation number 1, though, is we might see a brand new fusion. Now, this is not Vegito. This is not Gogeta, because you got to remember, Vegito was specifically done with the Potara earrings, and Gogeta's done with the Metamoran fusion dance. So we're not looking at that. We're looking at something completely different. And what that is going to be is a fusion with those, weird fusion bugs that we saw at the very beginning of the whole thing. We've already seen where Vegeta is now basically asking Goku to share with him the bugs that heal and all that kind of crazy stuff. Things that Vegeta would never normally do. And we already know that Vegeta does not like fusion. He just does not, roll that way for the most part. But we also see a foe now that has come out of nowhere with an unprecedented, for this series at least, amount of power. Now, you could power scale this any way you want, but the reality is they've only been in their kid forms for a short period of time. And so that really does beg a question. But the reason that I'm going to talk about situation number 2 is because lately, in the past maybe 24 hours, there's been a lot of talk about the goals of Dragon Ball Daima. And a lot of it has now been basically confirmed to be, I don't want to say nostalgia bait, but that's, for lack of a better way to put it, that's kind of what it is. It's nostalgia bait for people that grew up with Dragon Ball GT. And we've seen that, Goku and Vegeta go back. They're kids now. We saw, Goku was a kid back then, but now the whole cast is. And they basically have to relearn a lot of these techniques and a lot of other things. So, and their strength is nowhere near what it was at the end of the Buu saga. So we are really looking at kind of for the current canon, unprecedented situation. But the reason I'm going to talk about situation number 2, it's a little spoiler behind me, and I'm sure you saw in the thumbnail. Vegeta and Goku both achieved Super Saiyan 3 now. Vegeta did it, actually, funny enough, first, which I thought was really cool, because we've never seen Vegeta get a form first. We've, with the exception of, if you consider the Majin form like a form, sure. His Royal Blue form, sure. Ultra Ego, sure. But all those are technically unique forms. We've never seen him attain a form of Super Saiyan first. And to see him do Super Saiyan 3 before Goku in this series was really unprecedented. In fact, we've never seen him do Super Saiyan 3 at all. And it really begs the question, if they're going to showcase that against the Tamagamis, and now we've got a foe that is leaps and bounds stronger than the Tamagami, so strong he can stand against Goku, Vegeta, and a Tamagami, and a whole cast of other characters, and unflinching, for a lack of a better way to put it, really power scaling wise, how are we going to take care of the situation? And realistically, if you honestly break this down and you think about it, there kind of is one way to do it. Now, in the past, basically the way this form was achieved is they kind of used the power of the moon, the Blitz waves, whatever you want to call it, and they would basically go into a Super Saiyan form of the Ozaru form and then use that to achieve Super Saiyan 4. But we don't have tails. They'd have to literally grow back their tails in a whole episode. And while they did that in GT, the way it was done was just ridiculous. Was it silly? Sure, but it was also ultimately pretty dumb. So, and a lot of the stuff they've done in the series has improved on what we saw in Dragon Ball GT. Dragon Ball GT had some good ideas, but ultimately the execution of it was pretty lackluster. Let's just put that out there. I'm sorry if you're a GT fan. I like the concepts. I like Super Saiyan 4. I like the Golden Ozaru. I even kind of like the idea of Baby and not so much the Shadow Dragons. They're kind of dumb. But if you think about this, the Tamagamis are basically the Shadow Dragons. There's just 3 of them instead of 7. If you really think about it, like, most everything we've seen here has been the better parts of that story, just recontained into something that makes a little bit more sense canonically. Also, significantly better writing, significantly better hype. All the way around, just a better version of that story. And the nice part is it can shoehorn itself right in between the end of the tournament and Dragon Ball Super. So, or technically Battle of Gods. So, this is undoubtedly the superior series. So it would make sense, and this is a fan favorite form. It would make sense that they would somehow incorporate Super Saiyan 4. But how do you do that without kind of incorporating that into a later version? And a lot of people have been talking about this. I talked about it a little bit in our reviews, and that is to make Super Saiyan 4 in a form that is only attainable in the Demon Realm. And actually, that would make a ton of sense, actually, if you think about it, because this form is so much different than any other Super Saiyan form. Honestly, personal opinion, like, if they had made this form the proper Super Saiyan form, I wouldn't even be mad. But being in the Demon Realm, being all those differences, being that you have all that capability, I would not be shocked if they said this was a form that was attainable only in the Demon Realm, maybe with some of the recovery bugs. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. But make this form something that is Demon Realm specific. Once they leave here, they lose the ability to acquire it. Plus, we already know from GT, and I would surmise that they're going to do the same thing here, and I'll explain why in a moment. But I would pretty much surmise that what they can do is with Super Saiyan 4 is basically more or less break the curse. Because remember, Goku was a kid, and while that was a wish on the Dragon Balls, basically anytime you are more powerful than Shenron, for lack of a better way to put it, because we've seen it a couple times in the series where Shenron just can't do stuff. It's outside the realm of his power. Once they kind of like usurp that power, the power of the Earth Dragon Balls, then they kind of break the curse. So if Goku and Vegeta are able to attain this form, they can go back to their regular adult forms. And for lack of a better way to put this, more or less have their original powers back, plus the boost to Super Saiyan 4. So, but honestly, there's a big question there. If they were in their adult forms, would Goma even stand a chance at Super Saiyan 2, or maybe even with Fusion or whatever? Who the heck knows? Now, there's a reason I'm going to talk about the Fusion after this, and you could probably surmise why I'm saying that. But nevertheless, I personally feel like in this next episode, we are most likely going to see Super Saiyan 4. We saw Vegeta attain 3. We've never seen that before. Goku finally attained it. They both have it. And even at Super Saiyan 3, they really don't stand a chance against Goma. They need an extra boost. They need an extra oomph. Now, I don't see them growing their tails back. I don't see that happening. I see this being something that is just kind of explained away as a Demon Realm specific thing. And then we might even find that maybe just like the Namekians, maybe the Saiyans are from here. I don't know. Who knows how that's actually going to play out? But, which wouldn't make sense because the whole pointy ears thing, but it actually could in turn also make sense if they explain it away that's why they're so particular about pointy ears. Like the round ears were here and they wrecked everything and they were terrible. Okay, well, yeah, the Saiyans are pretty evil again. Fair. That actually could track. I could definitely see that as well. That's maybe another aspect of this. But I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to call it. End of episode 18, I see Super Saiyan 4 happening. That's me personally. Let me know what you think in the comments as always. And hopefully this explanation was satisfactory. If you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. But for now, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys again real soon.